How's it going, guys? Who's back here again with some more Brawl here in Jirina. Today we are playing Chromium the Mutable as a viewer suggested request, and I gotta say, do like me some Chromium. And this is a different build of Chromium than we usually have done. I think our last Chromium build was a long time ago, long time ago, and that build was a control build. Yikes. Bad start. Does this video get scrapped because we get mana through game one? Who knows? I don't know. We're going to cryptid too. Like that is a little above our play grade, if I'm being honest. Witch's Mark. I do love Witch's Mark. It's a nice thing. I wish it was around more. The problem is you get extra value for having a creature because you can put a wicked roll on it. In exchange for it being sorcery speed, right? Because its closest parallel is I'll take another white source. And I think I'm gonna go Horn of Gondor first. Because if our opponent cares about countering us having creatures, this gets countered. And then we can get through more impactful threats. Okay. They cared about the Nykthos more. Fair enough. I mean, this does mean that our Intrepid comes in with no counters, but that's kind of fine. The ideal of this deck was to build a human tribal deck where Chromium could be on the battlefield, and discarding a card would make him more powerful than he. See if they trade. Hmm. I think we Felidare Sovereign. So our plan here is to build up an overwhelming board where our opponent's Vatic has to die as well as our board. Rafine's Tower. Okay, sure. Do they have a counterspell? I'm kind of sad if they do. If they don't, this doesn't matter. Ew. Okay. Well, you win some, you lose some. I think we had to get Vanquisher's banner just because we're so far behind in card advantage. We don't really. Going in for three. We could try Jisa, but I don't. I'm pretty sure this is counterspell territory, so I don't want to run my card advantage into it. I just have no confidence that this is going to resolve. Yeah. So we're kind of just on the human flood plan. We are on the wave assault plan. 2 becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16. And then if we can get our Chromium in there at some point in the meantime, we should win in theory, right? Like that's That's how math works. Okay. Um. Going in with the boy. If he blocks the cat, no, he'll block the human to kill it. We get 2 damage though. Ah. So a Wayfarer's Bauble to search up one of those 2 basic lands we have in our deck. To give everything +1/+1. 3 non-lands. Alchemy cards are wild, man. I'd say there was a big backlash when Alchemy came out, and as a result, like some of the first Alchemy sets are horrendously underpowered. And then like they've slowly creeped up to the point where you look at some Alchemy cards and you think to yourself, that's a little bit pushed, isn't it? Like the heist mechanic. You look at some of those cheap heist enablers and it's like, might have gone too far. Because the Magic fandom was outraged of digital only cards, and then they simmered down when the digitally exclusive cards became like non-entities because they just weren't powerful enough to show up, and now they're starting to rise again. And I'm worried this is going to be another backlash. Um, Damage. That is rude upon it. I didn't want to activate my point this turn. I can't cast my boy. If I cast my banner, I almost certainly lose it. But I mean, we can't cast Chromium. We have to get rid of the counterspell somehow. This is probably it. Is this resolving? I mean, it shouldn't, but whenever you cast, so it's actually very, very good. Uh, very good, relatively speaking, right? 5 mana whenever a creature enters the battlefield, not a very good effect, and that's essentially what it is most of the time. But things that trigger on cast mean that even if you're up against a counterspell heavy deck, it'll still work. You won't get the value out of the spell you're actually casting, but gosh, are we getting? This is like Grape Shot. We have officially died, I think. Come on, opponent, show me you have a Grape Shot. Because it'll copy, and then it'll copy 2 more times, and then it'll copy based on the number of spells that have been cast this turn, which will be. Oh, no, don't even need a Grape Shot. We'll just do it the easy way. I think I'm dead. Yeah. GG. We're a little too slow. I don't know. Maybe my human build needs some more. I was actually startlingly surprised at how few human payoffs there were in the color combination of Esper. There are a lot of really good humans in Esper, but like, if you want to get into like the best lords and like some of the best card advantage for creatures, you're in green and white, and as a result, like we're missing out on a couple of enablers to push our Chromium over the edge. Buxton, decorated host. I mean, this is GG. Okay. We got a pity win. That happens with Chromium because he is a immensely powerful control commander. Because he's kind of the finisher in a control deck, right? Like there are a lot of ways you can build a control brawl slash commander deck, and between the two formats, there's a large disparity because in brawl it's 1v1 and not 1v1v1v1, right? So like in brawl, commanders like Brawl, Telran that are small on the board and give you incremental value are a lot more valuable than they are in Commander, right? Like there's still some powerful builds, right? But you can't expect to counter every spell in a Commander game uh, with a regular 7 card hand, right? Because your opponents have 21 cards in total that are facing your 7, right? Like even if they're all counter spelled, which would be terrible, you're still gonna have problems. Uh, and we're up against a tree deck. Tree decks are either the biggest meme or they are legitimately scary. And Ragavan on 1 is not a promising tilt towards meme deck. Please die, monkey. It never happens, but it could this time. Okay. Uh, Human. The idea was to stack buffs so that when we turn him into a 1/1, and he actually changes creature type, we can actually get him above 7 power and toughness. I've played, this is my 6th or 7th game with him, and it hasn't happened. But I think there's a fundamental flaw in my plan. But the only other. You know what? I'm taking a hostage because of that. You've been hostage, Lauren. You're a human anyways. You should be on our side. I think you are on our side. I'm pretty sure you're in the deck, but you're 1 turn off bridge. We'll either play a removal spell or get a taplin and then play a blocker. 4 mana, there's a tap land. Blocker, please? Well, that is a blocker, but it's still commander. Really? Last for this opponent. No attack. Next turn we'll do the proper play, which is Legends into White Tree. Relic into White Tree. Swing in with both. I mean, we can race. I don't have a problem with that. I technically have nearly have Rift Online. Rift is 7, not 6. But nearly have a Rift Online. That is quite good. I think we that. Graveyard Trespasser. Grab the monkey. in the turn. So this should set us up for lethal even if they attack in with Arvid the Cursed. Oh, they have their own white tree. Okay, well that actually reaches a level of parity. That's bad. We need a 7/7. Can I just take this hit? If I take it, they go up to 14. Not my best work, but I'd rather draw land, play my commander as a flash blocker, and well, that would have been nice. Would have been nice. Cancel. Arvid isn't a human, so he just doesn't care. Ah. Hmm. If I could just draw one land, we would be in a better spot. We just cannot draw one land. We're in. She eats my white tree, makes my hostage taker too weak to block, and then okay. Hmm. What do we do here? I guess we Kudro. Like that's the only realistic thing we can do. Or tell this. Set up the hostage taker to actually block. Roll claw. I feel like us sitting on 4 lands for so long and kind of ruled out winning, but you never know. Hmm. Board 1. Christ, 2 humans. Man, you are greedy. I mean, we drew the land. We can actually play our commander now. Sure. Toxic Deluge. Alright, we survived this combat. That's the plan. We survived this combat at least 6 life. At least 9 life. I mean, we're kind of dead anyway, right? Maybe not. It depends on how our opponent orders. I don't care about that. Break my 4/4 for a 7/7. I mean, we lose either way now because uh, Calamity's on board. We can't do anything about that. What did they hit? A Multani. My turn, I guess. Bye-bye. Toxic Deluge for 5. What? I think that's about all the time we have for. I didn't realize we got up to the 20-minute mark. This was disappointing. We will return to our boy Chromium in a soonish video, I think, because the human tribal plan didn't work, and he's kind of just a really good control commander, but he's kind of boring as a control commander. I wanted to do something different, but I also don't want to leave him high and dry. So we will see. Hopefully he'll be back fairly soon. Either way, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.